Next movie is Prey. Like I said, Prey is the prequel to the Predator movie, a 200 year prequel to the very first Predator. Predator, which came out all the way in 1987. Classic film, by the way. And we're going to be doing a retro review of the movie tomorrow. And I also going to try to see if I can also watch Predator 2 if I can, because I've never seen Predator 2. The only sequel I've ever seen to Predator was Predators, which came out in 2020 with Adrian Brody and Lawrence Fishburne. Did you ever see that movie, Predator or Predators?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen them all.
You've seen all the Predator movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the first one's great. I just wasn't in the how do I put this? I wasn't in the that's not a favorite Schwarzenegger film for me. I think it's a good Schwarzenegger film, but there are other ones I like more. But yeah, like the first Predator is really good. Predator 2 was fun. That last Predator movie they put out was some bullshit. Like that's one of the worst sequels I've seen. Like that's some Terminator Dark Fate, Terminator Genesis bullshit. That last Predator fucking sucks. It's goddamn awful. So I was concerned going into this one because, like, why do another Predator movie? But then I saw that first trailer and I went, oh, okay, this actually looks great. Was it great? I don't know. We'll talk about it. But that last Predator, don't watch it. Like, it's not good at all.
Yeah, I'm laughing at the chat here. Javon Good said, "If it bleeds, I can fuck it." Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, technically not wrong, but I mean, you could probably fuck a predator for 3 seconds before it kills you, but yeah, Predator is actually very underrated.
Yes. The one Predator sequel I have seen, which is Predators, which came out in 2010. Well, I guess I've also seen The Predator too. The 2018 movies when that came out, 2018. That one's terrible. I think that one's really awful,
it's goddamn awful.
And I was really disappointed because with the Predator, I was like, well, hey, Shane Black. Shane Black did some writing for the first Predator movie, and Shane Black is a master of dialogue. I mean, The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I mean, the dude is terrific, you know what I mean? And then when you watch that movie, it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, what the hell happened here, man? I just don't understand that, of what happened with that, because that movie has terrible dialogue. None of it's funny. None of the cast of characters at all even or say anything remotely funny. And you have Michael Keegan who's in the film. You have Thomas Jane who's in the film. It's just like Trante Rhodes. It's like you get some solid actors, and that's what you do.
But here's the thing. It's even more unforgivable because he's coming off The Nice Guys, and The Nice Guys is arguably the best movie he's written. Like you could argue that, but The Nice Guys is fucking excellent. And then just to go and do The Predator, you're like, what the fuck were you thinking? And let's call it what it is. One of the biggest problems with that fucking movie is what's her name, Olivia Munn, who just let's just be real, y'all. She's not a good actress. Like, I know she's hot, and that's what everyone points to. And Attack of the Show. Like, who fucking cares? She's not a good actress. Like, she's a Tanner Jessica Alba. Like, she's not a good actress, and she's terrible in that fucking movie because she has to carry so much of it, and that is not her forte. And but fortunately, in this new Predator movie, Prey, there is an actress who's actually able to carry the weight of carrying this movie and being the main star, and that was very nice to see.
Yeah,
because that is not the case in the one that Olivia Munn is in.
Yeah. Well, actually, the only good person, the only good actor in the Predator is Sterling K. Brown. I think he's the only good thing in there.
Yes, that's fair. I will give you that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's great in like everything. But yeah, he's the one trying to pull something good out of that bullshit. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
like the one person.
So with this new movie, Prey, which we're here to talk about, which is 300 years. I said 200 years. 300 years in the past here. Um, and it follows a story of a native woman by the name of Naru. Naru, who's played by Amber Midthunder. Midthunder. That's a very cool name, by the way. Amber Midthunder. Yeah, it's a very cool name. You know what I mean? And people might recognize she was on Legion, which I was a big fan of that show myself.
Same.
She was one of the mutants in that show with a very interesting kind of power in that show. And I was kind of a big fan of that, so I was kind of interested to kind of see this for her, and as well as the director Dan Trachtenberg. Dan Trachtenberg, who did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and he did the Boys pilot. I was a huge fan of 10 Cloverfield Lane myself. I thought it was one of the
Ditto.
best movies of the year when it came out. So
Ditto.
when I heard his name was attached to this, directing it, that really definitely piqued my interest in the movie. And this film, following this native girl by the name of Naru, who's really trying to prove herself amongst her tribe. You know what I mean? Her obviously being a woman, in this time period, in this type of, strict kind of gender norm kind of sets. She wants to be a hunter. They don't believe in her. They don't believe that she is skilled enough to be one, which kind of leads her to really trying to prove herself and kind of grow throughout the story of becoming a great hunter, and also realizing that something is afoot. Something is coming, and I can sense it when nobody else will listen to me. I'm gonna be the one that really tries to find this, and we all know it turns out to be the Predator. And then also with the Predator, with the new Predator movie, the immediate question is it just as good as the first Predator? I don't think any Predator sequel is gonna be just as good as the first Predator. Why? Because the first Predator movie that came out in 1987, it just was lightning in a bottle. That experience, you didn't know what the Predator ever looked like. It was kind of this big surprise when you finally get revealed to what the Predator kind of looks like, and this creature. And this movie, and Prey also makes references. If you've seen all the other Predator movies, I've seen the first one. They do make references to the first one, and they do make references to the second one. I haven't seen the second one, but I heard someone say they do make
Yeah.
references to the second one. It kind of does try to connect kind of those things. Even some famous quote that's in the first Predator movie comes back in here, which I think is a little bit. You didn't really have to do that. I think that's a little bit of a detrimental to the movie, because I think this movie is strong enough to stand on its own. And the concept of this movie of like really going back to basics, right? Going back to formula, as the Goblin would say, right? And of like the Predator versus a human being, a person, and using that bare bones nature kind of element here that you have it. Is what helped Arnold Schwarzenegger beat the Predator in the first '87 movie, going back to basics, going back to the kind of those basic survival hunting skills here. Hunter, what are kind of your thoughts on Prey?
Yeah. So this might be better than the first one for
You think
me.
so? Okay.
I love this fucking movie. Whew, this is like 95ish minutes of just kick ass, uh, atmospheric, awesome horror. It's really funny because the fact that the director did 10 Cloverfield Lane, it definitely plays like that in the sense of it's it's more akin to Cloverfield in the sense of they go, well, the Predator's out there, so we're just gonna give you a little tease here, a little cloaking here, a little snake skinned here, like just enough to keep your appetite wet. And then when that Predator shows up, it's like, oh man, that's not good at all. And the way the action is done in here, in particular, when that predator shows up, the movie turn should be called Predator Ain't Playing, because that predator starts fucking shit up in a way that I went, holy fuck, this is bad for all y'all. And given the time setting and the fact they don't have machine guns and shit, there is even more of that. Oh man, you guys just might just be screwed all around. Um, the Amber Mid Thunder, man. Goddamn good. I'm so happy for her. I'm just happy for people like who aren't in that A-list tier who get to have their moment, and she gets to have multiple moments in this movie because you know even though this movie is hundreds of years in the past, one thing that hasn't changed is that men don't listen to women. Because when she's trying to tell her tribe, hey, there's something out there that's not a bear, the Alliance will just go, shut up, girl. We got this. We know how to hunt. You make herbs. And it's like,
Yeah,
she
go in there
really
and cook
doesn't
me
listen
some.
to her.
Yeah, go in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
it's
cook
like,
me.
God damn it. And you know what? The ones from her tribe that do get killed, I went, good. All of you deserved it because you fuckers weren't listening to her. And there's actually a fight she gets into with someone from her tribe that's really intense. That's pretty early on in the movie,
Hmm.
but it does a great job to kind of book in the first act to go ahead and then lead to, oh shit, the predator's here. And I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna dance around spoilers because I really do want people to discover all this for themselves because there's so much to enjoy about this movie. There's a scene with a bear in particular that is such a oh y'all fucked up now
Hmm.
sort of scene where you like where oh that scene is so fucking cool. And a nice little wrinkle with sorry, as my cat randomly I was like, oh what the fuck, who broke in? But as but especially the last 30 minutes in particular are so white knuckle, oh fuck what's gonna happen. Um this isn't a spoiler, so all those out there. There is this one scene where he gets caught in some quicksand basically,
Hmm.
and that shit is fucking intense. Like she's not like she's not gonna die obviously, because it's really early. It's pretty early on in the film, but they do a great job of showing how resourceful she is even at that point. Um, there's definitely some Tomb Raider slash Horizon Zero Dawn vibes to this movie. I'd like to ask the director if he was inspired by either of those because the way it's even shot, um, there's a couple shots with Naru up in trees and stuff that's very reminiscent to those sort of video game shots that actually
Hmm.
really does enhance the movie. Um, I don't know what the budget is on this, but they felt like they stretched it in the best way. They maximized the hell out of budget because when the predator shows up and you hear that clicking, first off, that clicking is still fucking
Yeah,
creepy and terrifying, and I
iconic.
don't
Yeah.
like it at all. Yeah, but when the predator does show up, it's oh man, this is like he's here to fuck shit up, and the movie in particular just makes me go, oh wow, you can actually get another great Predator movie out. Because after that last one, I was done. I was like, all right, cool. Like you can just stop with these like do comics or whatever. I don't fucking care. But this actually makes me go, where else could you put the Predator? You know what I mean? Like, do another Predator movie, 50 years in the future? Do you do one back in fucking, like colonial times?
Yeah. Get
Like
Robert
you
Eggers. Have
like,
him do Northman 2 meets Vikings.
oh,
Vikings and
oh
Predators. Do that.
shit. Oh god. Okay. Okay, you say that jokingly, I would watch the fuck out of that. Give me that movie. That Vikings fuck, now I'm gonna think about that. But yes, this movie, y'all please watch this shit. Like it's really weird how Hulu has some uh really great original movies I feel like no one's fucking watching. Like
Palm
there's some good
Springs.
shit. Palm Springs, Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, The Princess that just came out,
That
Prey, like
wasn't that John Cena movie, an original Hulu movie?
oh yeah, Vacation Friends. Vacation Friends fucking rules. Vacation Friends is great. Like there's a lot of good shit on Hulu. Just like I know people go, Netflix, Disney Plus. Notice I didn't mention HBO Max. But I know people kind of Prime Video. I know people kind of look at them as like the cream of the crop, but Hulu has some really great shit.
Mm.
And I would really just say in general, like if you're gonna pay for a streaming service, actually look at what they have. Don't just go to watch The Office, you know, or Ted Lasso for the 50th fucking time. Like actually maybe expand your taste a little bit. Maybe watch something you haven't seen before. Um, and as a horror, like I'm not a huge horror guy because I hate being scared. I'm black. Life's scary enough. But Prey does a great job of having these moments where things just get quiet, and they do a really good job of having a great score, but it doesn't engulf the movie. Like it's not like so in your face or in your ears, whatever. It's not so aggressive that it's like distracting from moments. Like they know exactly when to kind of throw the score in and when to pull that shit back and let the predator be creepy just by that clicking or just the way it steps. And
Mm.
the movie is so atmospheric in that way. If you want to levy a complaint, and I really think this is like I don't have this complaint, but I am seeing some people have it. People are going like, well, I wish the characters in the tribe were a little more developed. But when I made that Tomb Raider reference, I made that on purpose because this really is Naru's journey
Mm.
about being a woman. There's a point early on in the film where someone in the tribe even asks her like, "Why do you want to hunt?" And she flat out goes, "Because y'all don't think I can." And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." Because none of you are showing her respect for the job she's doing. She's like, "Okay, cool. I need to go ahead and do it this way." And it's actually pretty heartbreaking to see everyone basically laugh at her when she goes, "There's something else out there that's not a bear or not a bear," and everyone just kind of goes like, "Oh, woman, you and your crazy tales." It's like, oh my god, y'all, this is why you deserve to die. And it's really her journey of not just finding out who she is, as a person in the tribe, but being able to prove to herself that she can be, whatever she wants to be. As cheesy as that fucking sounds, but shut up, the Navy does it, so whatever. But uh, at the end of this movie, I got a screener for this like a week and a half ago, so I've been waiting to talk about this, and I actually watched the screener 3 times, start to finish. I was like, "Yep, I fucking love this movie."
Mm.
If I had to do my top 10 today, it would crack my top 10. It would be like number 9 or number 10,
Mm.
but it would be on there.
Wow.
I adore this movie, and I really hope, please, 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 people, watch it because I want to see more of this shit. But
Mm.
yeah, I dug the hell out of this.
Wow. Wow, that is high praise for this movie. I very much liked it as well. I like the atmosphere of the movie. I like the lead performance by Amber Midthunder. I like the journey that she kind of goes through on it. I will say the stuff like we mentioned about the kind of like the tribe belittling her and all that other stuff, laughing at her. It's a little too maybe on the nose. It's a little maybe too it's kind of clunky in the way they kind of do it. I will say to a degree, but you know what I mean. I don't think it at all overshadows the good things about this movie. There are the great things about this movie that work really well. And like you mentioned, like the Predator, like in 1980, you can't have that same impact of seeing it for the first time. But the Predator here is very badass. You'll see a lot of Predator in this, do some badass stuff in this, kill a bunch of people for sure. Also, it's almost like this Predator's like Debo almost. Like the way, like there's a scene, like you said, the fight scene with the bear. That fight scene is a great fight scene between this Predator and the bear, and it almost just seems like it is like totally just like it's in this territory and it will just kill everything in its path that they perceive that it perceives to be any type of threat at all. And I thought that was kind of funny, like what I mean. Like there's one scene where like the Predator, he just straight up kind of like you remember that scene in the Jason Bourne trailer where Jason Bourne just punches that guy in the ring and he just falls down. It's kind of like that. It's like that scene.
It is.
It's pretty much like it's like that scene, and I thought that was I thought that just kind of made me laugh. And also if you're gonna also have a character kind of going through a journey, it also helps to have a cute dog with you as well. That also helps. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, so there is a I guess I'm gonna say there is a death they tease for that fucking dog that I screamed. Like I scared my cats. I'm like, no, and my cat's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, don't get a fucking dog. But it's kind of like that fake out death they do with Fox and Lightyear, where you're just like, don't kill the main character I love. But that predator just does not give a fuck. Like bears, dogs, natives, like that predator does not give a fuck, and it's kind of incredible. Um, there is a point where this is a spoiler, because the deaths for me were one of the things I just went, God damn, like this predator flat out Dewey Coxes someone, and that was something that I went, holy shit, like I laughed at that death in the best way. Actually rewound it too because that death was incredible. Um, it's really cool too to see something like an axe be used to go ahead and actually like kill, because like because people like make jokes like you know, you shoot someone with like an arrow, like how much can that fucking hurt? That would fuck up your day, getting shot with an arrow to start off, number one. But there are some deaths that are done with that axe by Naru that are genuinely terrifying. I mean, god
Yeah.
damn, like yeah, slicing someone's throat with an axe, that would, yeah,
Yeah, she's
that would
got
kill. Fair
like
enough.
somebody mentioned in the chat. She's got her own Leviathan from God of War. She's got Kratos. She's got her own axe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's badass the way she uses it too. And they do like they do a good job with her. Like it really is. I keep going back to Tomb Raider, but it really is kind of weirdly paced like that reboot of the game is, because at first she's very like, oh my god, I can't even throw a punch. But then, she kind of gets her ass kicked by members of her own tribe, and you see her, rightfully so, get fucking pissed off and go, okay, you know what? And, strategize and actually have to, like, think and use her, a woman using her brain. What? She has to think some of this shit out and not just hack and slash. It's kind of Splinter Cellish in that way too. It really works too, because she sees the predator just slice through several people, so you can't just go hand to hand with it. But the last 30 minutes, as I mentioned, is just such a wow. Like I just kept doing this. I was like, yep, movie, you keep knocking it out of the park. And one of the big things that I always do as far as grading a movie like this is, did it do enough to earn a sequel? And this absolutely does enough to earn a sequel. Like I'll probably watch this again in the next couple weeks. Like my partner didn't get a chance to see it. She hasn't seen Predator, but I told her, I'm like, we're gonna get really high and we're gonna watch this shit, because um, I watched this Dead Dog Sober the first time and I was just bored. Um, I I hope this at some point. I mean, I don't think it will, but if they do make another one, maybe they can do a double feature of the new one and this one in the theater. Because I would have really enjoyed. I really would have enjoyed seeing this on a big screen. But I watched this on the 65 inch and had a little popcorn, and I cheered and I laughed, and yeah, man, I cannot wait to watch this again. I think this movie is a fucking blast.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's perfect, it being on Hulu. How successful it would have been if it would have been in theaters, I don't really know, because you don't have really any big name people in this movie.
Yeah,
And
true.
it is, very much, it's called Prey, so it's like, that title doesn't signify that it's connected to the Predator. You know what I mean? You'd really have to
Yeah.
do a little bit of research to kind of find that out. Even, and how much marketing, because I was trying to find the budget on this movie, I couldn't find it. And we'll get into more of the discussion later on, like with Batgirl and everything like that. I don't know if, this movie Prey would qualify as a mid-budget movie. But you see kind of now, like, it's only major big budget movies that are 100 million plus, or you see small budget movies that are like 10 million or something like that, kind of make it. It's like that mid budget is kind of going away and it kind of being pushed out. But you would hope, like, some of these mid budget movies will be like, hey, you got these platforms, you got all these millions of different streaming services, why not put it on one of these things and see it, and try to attract some people with a roster and library of movies that you can just pop on. and kind of watch. You could have, the stuff like you said, maybe you could have developed the tribe a little bit more. I would have loved to see this movie because it's a tribe called the Comanche tribe,
Yes.
there's also a version of this film you can watch where it's entirely in the native language, which I also would have probably liked to see as well. I'll probably check that out where it's entirely in the language. I like to be a cultured Negro sometimes. Read the subtitles. Um,
Fair, yeah, get out of the house every so often, yeah.
so got to do that. So I would have also really really liked to see it in the with the subtitles. I think that would also improve the film very much. So seeing people talking the native language. Um, I thought the stuff, but I think the stuff with her and her brother, who this I think the actor who plays his brother, I believe this is his like acting debut. I
Yeah, he
believe.
crushes it. Yeah, Dakota Beavers, great
Yeah,
porn name by the way. But, but yeah, he plays Tabe, and there's this point where he flat out goes, "Yeah, you didn't kill this thing. I killed it because you're a girl." Like, I mean, he doesn't say "because you're a girl," but he basically says "because you're a girl." And their their relationship is very sibling rivalry in this way because yeah, she's like, dude, like you of all people should know I'm not bullshitting, and even he falls prey to this shit. Prey. Even he, even he falls for this shit. It's like, goddamn. But I really like the way their relationship develops. Um, he's a badass too. Like
yeah,
the action scene he gets to do, you're like, oh, okay, man.
yeah,
I don't think it's a huge spoiler to say white people show up and, of course, try to steal the land because why would what else do they do? But but I love the way that got woven into the story too because again, not spoiling, but when that predator does show up and those white people are around, like, you know, they're that predator's like, oh, cool, like this is fucking target practice. And yeah, man, I might watch this again tonight. I might have just talked myself into
yeah.
it.
Uh, One big criticism. I mean, I again, this budget on this movie probably affects it as well, and that's probably what affects this. But one other criticism I have of it is there's a lot of animals in this, bears and dogs and rabbits and and stuff like that, and they don't really look the best. I will say that they they do look pretty bad. I think some of the times.
So here's the thing, like I don't think animals are ever gonna look the way we want them to again, and I really just think that's a criticism we just need to kind of throw away because the alternative is you go through 8 different last season, 10 seasons. It's like do you want the animals to actually be animals or do you want them to look a little off? And uh, I think the bear. I actually think the bear actually looked good. I don't know if that was a real dog. It looked like a real dog at points. I don't know, but yeah, the animals thing I've just kind of shrugged at because I I don't want to see like a fucking dog hurt themselves or bear or anything like that. So like if it was a possum, sure, but I I don't want to see these animals get hurt. So I get what you're saying, but I think that's just gonna kind of be the way it is with animals in film at this point because you got to be so careful with that shit now. So, but
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's not a really major complaint. It's just something doing like this movie. I'm not really looking at too much for the visual effects. I mean, I'm mostly looking at for the story and how they kind of handle kind of the characters and and things like that. Not necessarily like the big visual effects. But the Predator looks great though. I think the Predator when the Predator's on screen, the Predator looks very good, and the action the
yeah,
Predator
Predator
does
looks
looks very
yeah,
good. And I think the action
yes,
is also very worthwhile. Yeah. So I would recommend, highly recommend checking it out. Hey, I mean it's on Hulu. You probably already got it with the Disney Plus bundle package that you can get with Hulu and then ESPN Plus. And Hulu's got a lot of great stuff on it, like you mentioned. Like that's how I
they
see
do.
a lot of Oscar nominated films is through Hulu because they'll drop on Hulu as
Yeah,
well. So I give Prey a very strong tune in. What about you?
nice. I actually I'm gonna do it. I haven't done it on the show before, but I'm doing it. I'm giving this is cinema.
This is cinema. Wow.
Dude, give yeah, give me more of this shit, man. Because look, I'm a huge Terminator fan. Like I love Terminator. It bothers me that they keep fucking up Terminator the way they do. Um, and I'm done with Terminator. I want nothing else to do with Terminator unless it's a game. Because the Terminator Resistance game they put out was actually pretty badass. Um, I have renewed faith in Predator as a franchise after this. Like, I want to see more of this, and this is something that after that last Predators movie, I know we keep harping on it, but if you have not seen it, don't see it. Like, it's not even a movie I would tell you that it's so bad it's good. Do not watch it. Go ahead and go on YouTube, type it Sterling K. Brown Predators, watch his scenes, and go, oh man, he's great. Everyone else looks like they're really bored, and just don't watch the rest of the movie because that movie sucks ass. Do not waste your goddamn time. Watch this movie. It's way fucking better. Um, yeah, and what they do with the credits scene, yeah, give me
Hello
more.
there.
Give me more of this shit. I hope we get a sequel announced soon.
Mm.
Yeah, I dug the fuck out of this. As I mentioned earlier, if I had to do my top 10 list right now, just from what I've seen, this would crack my top 10. I could not believe how much I enjoyed this movie, how much fun I had with it, how brutal it is. Like, it really is a brutal movie. And this is just me being a weapon kind of nerd, but the way that she uses just a simple rope tied around her wrist to just enhance the axe, it seems like such a small thing at first, but they do a great job of showing how later on in the film that continues to be such a small but a really important decision, especially as if we get to the end of the film. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, this is cinema, baby. Give me more, baby. Give me more Prey. Yeah,
Yeah.
this movie's excellent.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
really like how she uses her, ingenuity, smarts, wits to, do kind of different things in movies, and that's also very interesting to see in the movie. And I don't know if I can't go as high as you. Maybe if I see it a second time, maybe. But yeah, I mean, hey, you loved it, man. That's great to hear. That's
Yeah, it's
really,
great double feature of the princess. If you want to watch two women kick ass, watch those back to back. They're both on Hulu.
yeah. Oh well, I guess yeah. Is Amber Midthunder? Is she a Disney princess? Does she count as one?
I mean, damn. I guess technically, yeah. I guess he technically would be
Yeah,
one
I mean
too.
Disney owns
And
the Fox now. They own the Predator, so I don't know. I guess is she a Disney princess?
God, what doesn't Disney own at this point?
Yeah,
They might own Warner Brothers if this shit keeps.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I guess instead of watching Pocahontas, just watch this. Watch Prey. You know what I mean?
yeah. Pocahontas ages really badly with Mel Gibson, especially. Like, you should probably go
yeah,
for Pocahontas anyway.
yeah. This movie actually has
Yeah.
some indigenous people in it, so and kind of in it, so yeah. I
You
wouldn't be in
remember
here.
how racist, dude? That song "Savages" from Pocahontas is like, ooh, it's a very like yeah, that's a rough song. Like, I remember as a kid even hearing that song, going like, this is kind of fucked. And I don't. Someone brought Pocahontas the other day and brought up that song, and I went, wow, yeah, that song is fucking like, it's like the Fox News anthem. Like, that's a rough fucking song.
But yeah, so this is cinema from you. I almost feel like I should be ringing a bell. That's the first time we've ever used that rating. I think. Well, did Nick? I think maybe Nick did use it. Did he use it once?
Nick has before.
Yeah, Nick loves a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I don't drop that. I don't drop that. Like, I've never dropped that. Like I said, like it's. I think you'll know what I mean. Like, you do the show a lot. Like, it's nice to be surprised by something.
Yeah.
And I just went into this. I went into this excited, but I was, there's always that chance that a movie will just kind of let you down, and I didn't feel let down by this. So I was like, that's a really nice feeling, and it I don't know. It makes me excited for the back half of the year. I was like, okay, like I'm happy. This is as good as I like this as much as I do. But
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Watch it, people.
I saw someone say, it was a tweet. I saw someone say what Top Gun Maverick is to Top Gun Prey is to Predator in 1987. I agree. I agree with that statement. I
Like,
think
I don't love Maverick, but that is true though, because that first Top Gun, I could honestly give a fuck about. I was like, oh
yeah.
man, all these, yeah, oh man, which boring white person's gonna be the top? I could give a fuck, but Maverick, it like actually makes you kind of give a shit about Maverick. But yeah, this is. I haven't played Predator Hunting Grounds. I heard it's pretty fun. But yeah, I really like this. Like, I really enjoyed this. I can't believe I enjoyed it as much as I did. But
Mm,
yeah, watch the shit, people. It's a lot of fun.
yeah. That was Prey.